A bank holiday Monday at Gilmartin Park in Kiltimagh is the setting for the replay of the 1997 Intermediate Football Championship between Bonniconlon, the standard bearers from North Mayo, and Ballintubber, the West Mayo representatives. 11 points all, the initial game finished when two late Pascal Tui frees earned Bonniconlon a second bite of the cherry. Ballintubber just doing their warm-up at the moment. They field an exact same 15 to that which started the initial game. In goal, Kieran McDonough. The full back line, Pat Lally, John Feeney and Alan Staunton. The half back line, PJ Derrick, Mike Derrick and Derek Quinn. At midfield, Noel Finnerty and James Horan. The half forward line, Kieran Lally, Vinnie Kane and Noel Mulroe. And the full forward line, Colm Staunton, Franny Glynn and Lyndon Riley. Bonniconlon, for their part, make one change to the side for this afternoon's game. Fenton O'Donnell comes into the attack at right corner forward. Colm Foodie moves to centre half forward, and Seamus Foodie moves to the number 10 slot. Otherwise, an unchanged side. In goal, Raymond Gallagher. The full back line, Porrick Reap, Fenton Toohey and Ollie Nyochton. The half back line, TJ Fleming, Daniel Ruan and Ollie Murray. At midfield, Seamus Lacken and Niall Loftus. The half forward line, Seamus Foodie, Colm Foodie and David Melvin. And the full forward line, Fenton O'Donnell, Pascal Toohey and Brian McDermott. A good sizable attendance here this afternoon, and hoping to witness a little bit better game of football than that which was seen in the drawn encounter. So Bonniconlon just posing for their by now customary pre-match photograph, and soon all the preliminaries will have been dispensed with and they can get down to the action itself, bidding this afternoon to win their first intermediate championship since 1986. And there in shot you have the referee Michael Daly from Ballyhaunis meeting the respective captains, Seamus Foodie from Bonniconlon and Vinnie Kane from Ballintubber. Vinnie, of course, who captained the Mayo junior team to an All-Ireland title just a few short months ago when they defeated Kerry at Cusack Park in Ennis. Precious little breeze worth talking about here at Gilmartin Park this afternoon. Michael Daly just tossing the coin which Ballintubber would seem to have won, and everything would seem to be in order as Ballintubber themselves now pose for their photograph under the watchful eye of their manager Jimmy Lally, who's assisted by the selectors Seamus Burke and Eamon Chambers, and the team trained by Jackie Heenahan. Ballintubber last picked up the Intermediate Championship title back in 1990, bidding to bridge a 7-year gap. Credence to this Intermediate Championship final. A huge day for both clubs this afternoon, as large crowds have made the trip both from North Mayo in the Bonniconlon area and from Ballintubber in West Mayo to witness this decider. Michael Daly from Ballyhaunis throws in the ball and the replay is underway. Straight away Bonniconlon in the attack with the ball into their forward line quickly, where it's won by Fenton O'Donnell. Back to the onrushing Colm Foodie, a player who's represented Mayo at underage level in the past, into his full forward Pascal Toohey floats the ball in around the edge of the small square, where Kieran McDonough takes it down well, gets the ball out eventually to his midfielder James Horan, the 25-year-old Ballintubber midfielder, the oldest player on the Ballintubber team. Tries to get it into the corner towards Colm Staunton, who's fouled as he tried to sprint out ahead of Ballinrobe for that ball. Free to Ballintubber, which James Horn will take himself. Quickly taken into the corner to Kieran Trixie Lally. Man in support is Colm Staunton. Staunton trying to get by Ballinrobe. Still it's Colm Staunton. Tries to loft a left-footed kick in, but all to no avail. In fact, he's adjudged to have overcarried that ball by the referee. Play will restart with a free out to Bonniconlon, which is left on the ground by their corner back Pádraig Reap, which will be taken instead by their goalkeeper Raymond Gallagher, who wasn't beaten in the drawn game, a game of course which finished 11 points apiece, and has been in good form for the Bonniconlon side throughout their run to the final in their defeats of Shrule, Glencorrib, Ballyhaunis and Louisburg in the semi-final. His kick out is taken down in the centre of the field by Niall Loftus. Loftus gets it onto his left boot and plays it low up along the ground looking for Fenton O'Donnell, but Fenton is adjudged to have picked that ball off the ground. Free to Ballintubber, which their corner back Alan Staunton will take. The 19-year-old brother of corner forward Cullum gets it forward to Vinnie Kane. Kane punts it in looking for Franny Glynn, who's beaten to it in any event by Fenton Toohey. Toohey gets it down the field towards Colin Foodie. Foodie struggling manfully to pick that ball off the ground, eventually fouled by Mike Derrick. Free to Bonniconlon just inside their own half, which Colin Foodie will take himself. Punts it into the corner looking for Pascal Toohey. Toohey seemed to have been pushed in the back. He was in fact. Judges the referee Michael Daly from Ballyhaunis, and it'll be a free in to Bonniconlon and to Pascal Toohey in particular, and a chance for the full forward with the Kitog to have a cut at this one. Pascal will landed 5 points in the drawn game, including that vital free 2 minutes into injury time, which earned Bonniconlon the draw, and who is their top scorer in the championship to date with a massive 21 points from the 4 games played, an average of 7 points per match. Bonniconlon, they'll be hoping for something of a repeat of that this afternoon. Pascal seems to have caught it well, looks to be on its way. A good kick from Pascal Toohey, carries just inside Kieran McDonough's left hand post, and with a little over 3 minutes gone in the first half, it's Bonniconlon 1 point, Ballintubber no score, and a first point of the day for Pascal Toohey. So Kieran McDonough, holder of Connacht College's A football medal with St Gerald's College in Castlebar, and currently a student at Castlebar RTC, a chance for him to have his first sample of the action and kick out the ball from the 21-yard line. Kieran's kick comes over to this near side looking for Noel Finnerty, but carries out over the line beyond both Noel Finnerty and Seamus Lacken, and it'll be a line ball to Bonniconlon here just in front of the commentary position, which will be taken by their right half back TJ Fleming. TJ looking up, trying to weigh up all his options, elects to punt it in long towards Seamus Foodie. The ball carries over Seamus' head and is won back there by John Feeney, the 18-year-old Ballintubber full-back who played minor for Mayo in the summer just gone. Back to John Feeney again. A good intelligent ball up along this near side looking for James Horan, but James pushed in the back as he went for that ball. It'll be a line ball to Ballintubber, which James will take himself. James looking for either Vinnie Kane or Franny Glynn. In any event, one of them being fouled. Free quickly taken by Franny into the corner to Colm Staunton, whose pace is absolutely electrifying. Still, Colm Staunton, very tight angle for a shot for a point. He kicks it in high and right footed, but it carries out to the right and wide. Ballintubber's first wide of the game, taking all of 4 minutes and 45 seconds to arrive, and the scoreboard remains as you were. Bonniconlon 1 point, Ballintubber no score, and all the while Fenton Toohey policing Franny Glynn diligently here in the corner of the shot. The kick out from Raymond Gallagher carries over the head of Kieran Lally and into the grateful arms of Niall Loftus. Loftus punts it up along the far side looking for Brian McDermott, but a little bit too much pace on that ball. It carries out over the sideline on that far side under the watchful eye of Mayo selector Tommy O'Malley and Mayo under-21 manager Declan Ronaldson, both of whom are in attendance on that far side. Line ball to Ballintubber, taken by PJ Derrick, who drives it up towards Vinnie Kane, his captain. The break falls instead to Niall Loftus, who switches the direction of the play over to this near side, but well read by Mike Derrick, who's galloping through the centre. Mike Derrick still trying to go through, trying to break 2 Bonniconlon tackles, but he's adjudged to have been fouled by a combination of 2 Bonniconlon defenders. Well spotted again by the eagle-eyed referee Michael Daly from Ballyhaunis, and the end result is a free in which Lyndon Riley will take. Lyndon, another man who picked up a Connacht College's medal with St Gerald's College Castlebar 12 months ago and was a vital and integral part of their team on that run to All-Ireland semi-final stage. Lyndon kicked this free, seems to have caught it well, looks to be on its way. A good kick from Lyndon Riley. That's the levelling point after 6 minutes and 30 seconds of the first half. The scoreboard operator clicks into action on the far side. It's now Ballintubber 1 point, Bonniconlon 1 point, and Lyndon Riley, who was off target with a number of frees in the drawn game, especially in the early stages, makes amends by tapping that kick nonchalantly over the crossbar. So Raymond Gallagher then to take this kick out from the 21-yard line for the first time. He'd be looking surely for his tall midfielder Seamus Lacken. Knocks it instead towards Fenton O'Donnell, who's beaten to it back there by Alan Staunton. Onto the onrushing Noel Finnerty. Man in support is Mike Derrick. The centre half back will love to attack. Still Mike Derrick looking for a man in support, who's James Horan. Horan weaving to the right and weaving to the left. Has his kick well blocked down back there by the Bonniconlon centre half back Daniel Wan. And eventually the Ballintubber man forced into touching that ball on the ground. Free to Bonniconlon, taken quickly by Ollie Murray, who drives it up looking for David Melvin. Melvin is a judge who have been pulling and dragging PJ Derrick as he went for that ball. Free to Ballintubber just inside their own half, which Noel Finnerty takes off the left boot, pops it in to Lyndon Riley, who gets there ahead of Pádraig Reap. Lyndon spots a man in space up along the wing, who's Colm Staunton. Lyndon runs on for the return, but a telegraph pass from Colm Staunton, and well read back there by Pádraig Reap. Pádraig plays it confidently and intelligently out of his own backline to TJ Fleming, on in turn to Seamus Foodie. Foodie, first time ball, looking for Brian McDermott, a very pacey corner forward who's kicked 3 points in the drawn game. Brian McDermott spots a man inside, who's Fenton O'Donnell. Fenton switches it over to his near side, looking for Seamus Foodie. Takes it down brilliantly ahead of Derek Quinn. Man inside, Melvin, chance of a score. Melvin shoots, a brilliant goal for David Melvin. Simplicity personified from Bonniconlon. The quick counter-attack. They move the ball quickly from one end of the field to the other. All the hard work done by Seamus Foodie, who gathered it ahead of Derek Quinn, spotted David Melvin inside on his shoulder, and the left half forward showed tremendous speed of thought to place the ball brilliantly underneath Kieran McDonough. The ball nestling in the back of the net, and that puts a totally different complexion on this game with 8 minutes and 40 seconds gone. Bonniconlon 1 goal and 1 point, Ballintubber 1 point. And now, how can Ballintubber respond? Franny Glynn, they'll need a score quickly now to get back into this game. Outside to Noel Mulroe, their top scorer in the championship. Noel Mulroe drafts it in, but it drops just underneath the crossbar and well taken down back there by Raymond Gallagher to Seamus Loftus, or to Seamus Glacken rather. He in turn to Fenton Toohey, up looking for Seamus Foodie, the captain. Foodie, he's lost the boot, but he still continues relentlessly up along the line to Fenton O'Donnell, who there too is Pascal Toohey, who's clattered into by John Feeney. John protests his innocence, maintaining that he went for the ball and kept his eye on the ball at all stages, but he certainly clattered into Pascal Toohey on that occasion, and the referee really has no option but to award a free in to Bonniconlon. And Pascal Toohey a little bit worse for wear after that robust shoulder challenge from John Feeney. So now, how can Ballintubber respond to that hammer blow of goal from David Melvin? Pascal Toohey takes the free quickly up to Colm Foodie. Foodie, a player with tremendous ability, back to Pascal Toohey once more. Can he land his second point? It's come off the outside of his left boot and carried out to the right and wide. Certainly Pascal had only one thing on his mind there as he steadied up for that kick. That was to find the target for the second time. But it carries on the gentle breeze and out to the right and wide. That's 1 wide now for Bonniconlon, 1 wide for Ballintubber. But with 10 minutes gone in this first half, it's still Bonniconlon 1 point. Or 1 goal and 1 point rather. Ballintubber at 1 point. Poor kick out from Kieran McDonough, easily picked up by Fenton O'Donnell. Forward to Brian McDermott. Chance for a second point, perhaps for Bonniconlon. McDermott kicks it high and right footed, but it's gone out, this time to the left and wide. 2 good chances there for Bonniconlon inside the space of 60 seconds, but both of them wasted. The latter there by the normally reliable Brian McDermott, a player who could very well have a large and prominent part to play in the course of this afternoon's game. Kieran McDonough's kick out, a better one on this occasion, but again a misunderstanding in the Ballintubber defence, and Niall Loftus can pounce. Loftus has a man inside who'd look to be Colm Foodie. Foodie trying to work at an angle for a shot, pulled to the ground unceremoniously by Noel Finnerty. The Ballintubber midfielder making no attempt to play the ball at all, rugby tackling Colm Foodie to the ground, and all the while presenting a bread and butter type opportunity to Pascal Toohey. This kick no more than 25 yards out, dead straight in front of the goals. A simple kick for a kicker of Tuohy's ability. Pascal Tuohy kicks it high and left-footed and over the crossbar. A very simple chance for him, which he takes with ease. It's now Bonniconlon 1 goal and 2 points. Ballintubber 1 point and 2 points for Pascal Tuohy. So far plenty to cheer about if you're a Bonniconlon supporter. They lost, of course, the intermediate final back in 1989. Be bidding to make amends this afternoon. Kieran McDonough's kick out carries just almost in tandem with the halfway line, but the referee spotted some pushing there by Seamus Foodie on one of the Ballintubber players. It could be a free in to the West Mayo men, which their centre half back Mike Derrick will take. A brother of the right half back PJ drops it in towards the edge of the square where Vinnie Kane rises all alone. Chance of a simple point surely. Vinnie Kane kicks it high and right footed. A very good score from Vinnie Kane. He had all the time in the world there as he landed with that ball. Really just had to keep it on target. And slowly but surely they whittle away at that Bonniconlon lead. It's now back to a single goal once more. Bonniconlon 1 goal and 2 points. Ballintubber 2 points. And once again it'll be Raymond Gallagher to take this kick out. Gallagher's kick elects to send it out to the far side, where it's taken down well there by David Melvin, the goal scorer a couple of minutes ago. Back to his midfielder Niall Loftus. Loftus punts it into the corner looking for Pascal Tuohy, who would seem to have pushed John Feeney in the back, but gets away with it on this occasion. Referee didn't spot it. Pascal Tuohy takes the free quickly inside to Seamus Foodie. Seamus shoots low. The shot, however, lacking the conviction, and well picked up back there by PJ Derrick, who punts it out first time towards James Horan, who runs into his own player Kieran Lally. The man into avail of the break will surely be a Bonniconlon player. The ball eventually finds its way out to Colm Foodie. Surely a chance of a point. Colm snatches at it, however, and kicks it out to the left and wide. Surely Bonniconlon should have done a lot better there. 3 and 4 men queuing up as a misunderstanding between James Horan and Kieran Lally led to the breakdown of their attack. And Bonniconlon should possibly have done better. They bring their wides tally now to 3. Ballintubber have kicked 1. And again Kieran McDonough to take this kick out. Another good kick from McDonough. Carries past his own 50-yard line. Taken down though all alone and all at ease by Niall Loftus. Tries to punt it into the corner for Brian McDermott, trying to exploit his pace, but Pat Lally is a very quick corner back as well. McDermott gets there first. Man at support is David Melvin. Melvin, can he work another score for Bonniconlon? Winding up for the big one. Drops it in. This is a dangerous kick. It's going to drop on the edge of the square. Kieran McDonough rises along with Pascal Tuohy. The break falls towards Pat Lally, with the ball eventually coming off a Bonniconlon man, as though it would seem from here. And if it has, it will be a kick out to Ballintubber, but no, in fact the umpire adjudges that ball to have last touched a Ballintubber player, and the end result is a 50 to Bonniconlon, which their free taker in chief Pascal Tuohy will take. Pascal wants to take it quickly and takes it short inside, looking again for Colm Foodie. Foodie's in space here, chance of a simple point surely. Foodie, however, doesn't catch it all that well, comes off the side of his boot and trickles harmlessly out to the right and wide. Another good chance for Colm Foodie, who's already squandered one a couple of moments ago. And while Bonniconlon are lording it in terms of possession and in terms of territorial advantage, yet to really make that show on the scoreboard. With 15 minutes gone, we're at the halfway mark in this first half. It still remains Bonniconlon 1 goal and 2 points, Ballintubber 2 points, but here come Bonniconlon again as Niall Loftus is pulled to the ground just outside the Ballintubber 50-yard line. Again it'll be a free into Bonniconlon, and again they sensibly elect to leave this ball on the ground and allow Pascal Tuohy to have a cut at this free. Should be well within his compass, just a yard or so outside the 50-yard line. Not an ideal kick or angle for a left-footed kicker, but nonetheless he's shown himself to be in good form so far this afternoon. This to extend the Bonniconlon lead to 4 points. Drops it short, flicked on first time and punched over the crossbar. A very good score. It looked as though Colm Foodie perhaps got his fist to that one and finished it over the bar, but in any event it's another point for Bonniconlon. It brings their total now to 1 goal and 3 points. Ballintubber stand at just 2 points, and 4 points separate the sides, as the scoreboard on the far side indicates. So some very quick thinking there by Colm Foodie to latch onto that short free from Pascal Toohey. And all the while Ballintubber really struggling to get into this game. Kieran McDonough takes the kick out towards the centre of the field, carries over the head of James Horan and Niall Loftus, but the fouling on this occasion judged to have been done by a player clad in sky blue. Michael Daly judges that to have been a foul on James Horan. Free to Ballintubber, which their centre half back Mike Derrig will take. A player who played minor with Mayo in the not so distant past. Mike lofts it up looking for Fanny Glynn. Well taken down however back there by Daniel Ruan, who switches it out to this near side looking for Seamus Foodie. First man there however is Derek Quinn. Quinn fails to pick it up on the first time of asking. Alan Staunton back to John Feeney, who drives it first time up the line looking for Lyndon Riley. Franny Glynn is there too. Franny bundled out of the way however by Fintan Toohey, who finds Colm Foodie in space. Colm just inside the Ballintubber half. He's on his bike now, passes the 50-yard line. Mike Derry comes across to put in a challenge. Man in support is Seamus Lacken if Colm can spot him. Instead he finds Pascal Toohey. Toohey weaves to the right but goes to the left, trying to buy himself a little bit of space. Eventually the ball goes backfield to Colm Foodie. Still Bonniconlon have possession. Colm Foodie ankle tapped by Pat Lally. Referee says play on, and eventually the Bonniconlon move breaks down and Noel Finnerty can come out of the Ballintubber defence. He's pulled and dragged and fouled by Seamus Glacken. Free to Ballintubber now as the pace of the game begins to lift a little. Vinnie Kane is on the ground struggling for possession. There too is Colm Staunton. The ball chipped back intelligently into the arms of Lyndon Riley. Lyndon is pulled to the ground by a combination of two Bonniconlon defenders. And again Michael Daly right up at the play spots that indiscretion, and it'll be a free in to Ballintubber, which Noel Mulroe will kick. This free a lot more suitable for a left-footed kicker out on that far side. And Noel, who's Ballintubber's top scorer in the championship so far, another who's a little off colour with his frees the last day, has a chance to cut the gap to 3 points once more. It stands at the moment Bonniconlon 1-3, Ballintubber 2 points as Noel lost his free in. 2-3 players rise together. Raymond Gallagher is there, so too Ballintubber player Vinnie Kane. Pulled to the ground, surely is it a penalty? The players are standing round in disbelief. I think it is. Referee Michael Daly has awarded a penalty to Ballintubber. The free in from Noel Mulroe was gathered by Vinnie Kane. Certainly as he came down with it, 2 or 3 Bonniconlon players converged all at once, and the outcome decides Michael Daly is a penalty to Ballintubber. So this just what the West Mayo men needed. Trailing at the moment with 19 and a half minutes gone in the first half by 1-3 to 2 points. This will bring the game back to just 1 point once more. Vinnie Kane to kick. Raymond Gallagher in the goal. A very important kick. Vinnie Kane side puts it right footed but out to the right and wide. Vinnie Kane holds his head in disbelief. A score which Ballintubber could badly have done with, coming as it did 19 minutes into the first half. They haven't played well at all. They haven't got the breaks, and now further woe for them, as Raymond Gallagher must be thankful to have seen that kick go outside his right hand upright. So can Bonniconlon survive that let off? Raymond Gallagher's kick out towards the centre of the field, broken down by Fintan O'Donnell into the path of Brian McDermott. There too is Pádraig Reeves. The ball on the ground, there to be won. TJ Fleming comes across, goes in with the boot hard on Lyndon Riley. Daniel Ruan is there too. Daniel Ruan chips it over to this near side looking for Seamus Glacken. Glacken goes down in the head of Franny Glynn. A low ball up looking for Colm Foodie. Foodie clattered by 2 Ballintubber players, Lyndon Riley and James Horan. Free to Bonniconlon, taken quickly. Fintan O'Donnell switches it over to the far side to Pascal Toohey. Pascal Toohey trying to take on John Feeney. Still it's Pascal Toohey trying to sell the dummy to the Ballintubber fullback. Pushes him out of the way nonchalantly. Pascal Toohey kicks it. This will be a great score if he makes it. That's a super score from Pascal Toohey. Certainly there was fire in his eyes and fire in his feet there as he went through, pushing John Feeney out of his path and driving the ball over the crossbar. So now with exactly 20 and a half minutes gone, the scoreboard clicks into action once more. It's now Bonniconlon 1 goal and 4 points. Ballintubber 2 points, and Pascal Toohey has helped himself to 3 points. As Ballintubber go on the attack once more, he's James Horan, landed 2 super points in the drawing game. Still James Horan, a man who could yet inspire Ballintubber, trying to work an angle, winding up for the big one. James Horan kicks it high and right footed, drops him short. Dangerous ball, but well taken down back there by Raymond Gallagher. Gallagher out to the far side to Seamus Glacken. Glacken looks up and spots a man in space who would seem to be David Melvin, the first half goal scorer. Melvin back in turn to his left half back was Ollie Murray. Forward then to Niall Loftus. Loftus drives it into the corner towards Brian McDermott. Pat Lally is there. Very well indeed. Played there by Pat Lally. Lally knocks it up along the line looking for Colm Staunton. But Staunton is beaten to the ball by Ollie Nocton. It'll be a line ball to Ballintubber on the far side, which Kieran Trixie Lally will kick. Their right half forward. Kieran Lally lofts it in, looking for Franny Glynn. There too is Colm Staunton, but a little bit too much pace on that ball. It carries out over the end line on the far side. And the outcome, yet another kick out for Raymond Gallagher. Pádraig Reap on this near side making a run, but Raymond Gallagher in no mood to take any chances. Wants to drive this ball as far away as possible from his goal. A good kick from Gallagher, drops outside his own 50-yard line, taken down effortlessly again by Seamus Lacken. Bonniconlon lording the midfield exchanges at this stage. David Melvin now in possession just inside the Ballintubber half. Melvin and Judge have been fouled by two Ballintubber players as he tried to go forward. Free to Bonniconlon, which Melvin takes himself quickly in towards Colm Foodie. Foodie here now trying to work another score. Brian McDermott inside on his shoulder. There to his Seamus Foodie. Brian McDermott as his jersey tugged just on the edge of the square, right in front of the gaze of referee Michael Daly. And really the Ballintubber defence could not have expected to have gotten away with that foul. Derek Quinn, I think in fact, was the guilty party. And this free, almost a carbon copy of Pascal Tuohy's second point of the match. About 21 yards out, dead straight in front of the goal. Pascal Tuohy chips it gently over the crossbar to bring his personal tally now to 4 points. He brings the Bonniconlon total to 1 goal and 5, and the scoreboard now reads Bonniconlon 1-5, Ballintubber 2 points. As Kieran McDonough takes this kick out, switches the direction of the play over to the far side to where Noel Finnerty is there first, back in turn to PJ Derrick. Derrick lofts it in looking for Lyndon Riley, who's been largely anonymous in the game so far. Pushed out of the way back there by his opposite man, who's Pádraig Reap. Reap gets it forward quickly to Brian McDermott, to Colm Foodie. Bonniconlon able to move the ball very quickly at times in their attack, and again Colm Foodie attempting to take on the Ballintubber defence at every occasion, forcing him into the concession of frees. And yet again that man Pascal Tuohy is there to take advantage of it. So this kick from Tuohy round about 30 yards out, a little bit to the left of the goals. A tight enough angle for a left-footed kicker, but certainly within Tuohy's range. Pascal Tuohy catches it well, looks to be on its way, judges the kick to perfection. A personal tally now of 5 points for Pascal Tuohy. The Bonniconlon total goes to 1 goal and 6. And slowly but surely Bonniconlon goes 7 points in front. Bonniconlon 1-6. Ballintubber 2 points. We've played 25 minutes of the first half. 5 minutes remaining to the interval as this game more and more becomes a Pascal Tuohy against Ballintubber show. Here come Bonniconlon once more now with Niall Loftus looking again for Brian McDermott onto the onrushing Colm Foodie, on whom so much would seem to depend, as he seems to be the catalyst of many Bonniconlon attacks. Ballintubber now in the form of Franny Glynn just inside the Bonniconlon half, and gets there ahead of Fenton Tuohy for once. Franny tries to knock it into Lyndon Riley, who shoulders Pádraig Reap out of the way. Back and turn over to Niall Loftus, to Seamus Foodie, to TJ Fleming. Bonniconlon keeping their heads, keeping their composure, and working the ball out of their own defence. Again looking for Pascal Tuohy. There too is the captain, Seamus Foodie. Foodie very near the sideline, being policed and patrolled by Derek Quinn. Foodie switches it over to the far side towards David Melvin, but well read back there by James Horan. Horan has PJ Derrick in support, the Allerton worker. PJ Derrick, another who has played for Mayo in the past at underage level, punts it into the corner where Colm Staunton is the intended recipient. Colm Staunton trying to work and bob and weave an angle for a shot. Colm Staunton kicks it high and right footed, but Raymond Gallagher was flagging that ball wide before the umpire had. Well off target on this occasion from the Ballintubber corner forward. The Ballintubber wide tally now totals 4. Bonniconlon have kicked 4 wides as well, and with almost 27 minutes gone in the first half, the scoreboard remains as you were. Bonniconlon 1 goal and 6 points, Ballintubber 2 points. The kick out from Raymond Gallagher flicked on by James Horan as far as the waiting PJ Derrick, forward to Kieran Trixie Lally, up along the line to Colm Staunton, on whom so much would seem to depend on this Ballintubber attack as well, but really yet to get going. A poor punted pass from him, easily picked up back there by Niall Loftus. Here come Bonniconlon now, they have room to attack with Colm Foodie. Again attempts to take on Alan Staunton. Colm Foodie goes past the 50-yard line, chips it into the path of Pascal Toohey. Toohey's away again here, chance of another point. Pascal Toohey kicks it high and left footed, but it's gone out to the right and wide. Again, Pascal Toohey applying a Kieran MacDonald-like shoot on side policy, but on this occasion a little bit off target, and it carries out to the right of Kieran McDonough's goal and wide. So 5 wides now for Bonniconlon, but they still enjoy the comfort of a 7-point cushion as Kieran McDonough's kick out falls towards Vinnie Kane, who knocks it down into the path of PJ Derrick. Man outside on his shoulder is Alan Staunton. There too is Noel Finnerty, just outside his own 50-yard line. Noel Finnerty driving it up again, looking for Lyndon Riley, but Pádraig Reap is there in oceans of time and space to get it forward to Daniel Ruan. Ruan, first time ball in towards Brian McDermott, being marked very closely there by Pat Lally. The ball is on the ground, there to be won. 6 of one and half dozen the other. Seamus Foodie goes down to pick it up. A line hard player, Seamus Foodie. Still is Seamus Foodie, 21 yards out, very tight angle, kicks for the point himself. It'll be a good score if it makes it, but no, it carries out to the left and wide. 6 wides now in all for Bonniconlon, but their dominance in terms of possession is phenomenal at this stage. Here's James Horan now trying to work something before half-time. Round about 90 seconds or thereabouts left until the half-time whistle. James Horan forward again, looking for Kieran Lally, who's clapped into from behind by Ollie Nocton. The outcome, a line ball to Ballintubber on the far side, which Kieran Lally will take himself. Kieran Lally chips it in, looking for Lyndon Riley, but again the Bonniconlon men the quicker to read that situation. They again work the ball out of their own defence with Colm Foodie just on the halfway line. Colm foul as he tried to accelerate away, free to Bonniconlon, again into Pascal Toohey. Toohey would seem to have all the time of the world this afternoon. Back to Seamus Glacken, 14 yards out, surely another point. Seamus Glacken kicks it high and right footed, but again is carried out across the face of Kieran McDonough's goal and wide. 7 wides now in all for Bonniconlon, as a bout of squander mania would seem to have hit their forward line and the midfielders, and still they enjoy the cushion of a 7-point lead, but every chance they kick away allows Ballintubber that little glimpse of hope. Kieran McDonough's kick out again, looking this time for James Horan. Horan managed to knock him down into the path of Kieran Lally. First time ball up the middle, looking for Lyndon Riley. There too is Franny Glynn, but again the Bonniconlon men quicker to the break, but James Horan read that very well indeed. Horan chips it up well, sprinting through, chance of a score here, they need it badly. James Horan kicks it high and right footed. They could have done with that score, could Ballintubber, but instead it carries out to the right and wide, a little bit too much curl on it than James Horan would have liked. And as we tick all the closer to half time, 20 seconds or thereabouts of normal time left, still Ballintubber staring down the barrel of a very unpromising 7-point deficit. Raymond Gallagher with the kick out, not happy at all with it. It carries about 55 yards. Seamus Glacken rises. There too is Noel Finnerty. The break comes to Alan Staunton, a long way forward from his corner back position into his brother Colm in the corner to Vinnie Kane. Vinnie Kane, can he inspire his side now? Man inside was James Horan, but he couldn't quite work the pass to him, and well read back there by Pádraig Reap, the Bonniconlon right corner back. Forward to Niall Loftus, the midfielder. Loftus inside his own 50-yard line, punts it up, looking for Brian McDermott. There first to over is Pat Lally. Pat Lally is fouled as he went for that ball, free to Ballintubber, taken quickly to Vinnie Kane, the captain. A player with a very unorthodox solo style. Vinnie Kane drops it in, looking again for Lyndon Riley. One-handed, big clear back there by Fintan Toohey, and came off the worst for wear in the 50-50 challenge. Fintan Toohey uses the ball well, out to Seamus Glacken. First time ball up along the wing, looking for Fintan O'Donnell, but John Feeney is there first. John trying to work his way out past Pascal Toohey, and for some retaliation from the Bonniconlon full forward, Michael Daly has his little back book out for the first time in the game, and so Pascal Toohey, who has kicked some marvellous points so far, both from frees and from play, becomes the first player to be booked. As the linesman on this near side, Willie Feely, has a quiet word with the referee Michael Daly about something that happened off the ball, and all the while Derek Quinn wants to get on with it, but the referee Michael Daly hasn't quite finished his inquiries yet, and he's making his way forward up to the far side of the field to try and sort out exactly what happened. In fact, an injury has occurred to Lyndon Riley, but doesn't seem to be all that serious. And the referee Michael Daly is anxious for the game to restart for the free to Ballintubber, which will be taken by Derek Quinn. In fact, decides referee Michael Daly, that is the last action of the first half. A David Melvin goal after 7 minutes, setting Bonniconlon up nicely at half time in the replay of the intermediate football final. At half time it stands Bonniconlon 1 goal and 6 points, Ballintubber 2 points. So Ballintubber return to the field for the second half. They have 30 minutes to try and turn this game around, trailing at the moment by a massive 7 points. And how a quick goal at the start of the second half would make the future seem all the much brighter. They do have not seem to have made any changes to their starting 15 for the second period. I'm sure a few harsh words said to them in the dressing room by their manager Jimmy Lally at half time. Bonniconlon have also returned for the second half. Their manager Peter Hughes having said his words to them at half time as well. So the referee Michael Daly begins the second half. 30 minutes remaining in this replay of the 1997 Intermediate Football Championship final. Bonniconlon very much in the driving seat. Here come Ballintubber now. They need a good start to this second half to try and get back into this game. Vinnie Kane punts it in, looking for a man inside. Looks to be Colm Staunton. Staunton weaving to the right and to the left. Back to Franny Glynn. A quick point would be essential here for Ballintubber. A quick point it is from Franny Glynn. A super score from the full forward. A member of the Mayo minor football panel back in 1991, which reached the All-Ireland final against Cork. Gets his first point of the afternoon from a very, very tight angle indeed. And the scoreboard now reads Bonniconlon 1 goal and 6 points, Ballintubber 3 points. As in fact Ballintubber have made one change at half time, introducing Joe Glynn into their attack. So can Joe Glynn help to work something as Ballintubber try and come forward again with Vinnie Kane, but a Bonniconlon player injured there in a clash in the centre of the field. It would look to be number 13, Fenton O'Donnell it was, who picked up that injury. He's down in some amount of stress in the middle of the field, but pulled and dragged to his feet there by TJ Fleming, the no-nonsense committed Bonniconlon right half back. And the play will restart with the free to Bonniconlon, which their midfielder Niall Loftus will take from just inside his own half. Niall Loftus punts it down in towards Pascal Toohey. There too is Seamus Foodie. Foodie sprinting through the Ballintubber cover. Still Seamus Foodie. Chance of a point for Bonniconlon, but again Seamus Foodie wasting this opportunity, kicking it out to the left and wide. How many times in the game so far have we seen Bonniconlon committing that particular indiscretion? Winning the possession at midfield, playing good intelligent ball into their attack, but time and again wasting that hard-earned possession. So all the while a glimmer of hope remains for Ballintubber. 1-6 to 3 points, 6 points between the sides with a full 28 minutes left in the game. Kieran McDonough's kick out carries inside his own 50-yard line. 2-3 players rise together. One of them is Noel Finnerty. Noel Finnerty, although he managed to gather that ball, one of his teammates injured as he went for the Lee Road as well. Would look to be number 4, Alan Staunton, who's down and hurt. A number of players rising for that ball. Alan picking up an injury in a collision with another player, but thankfully Alan is back on his feet. He's fit to resume, and the play will restart, I would think, with a hot ball between Noel Finnerty and Seamus Lacken. Finnerty gets the hand and knocks it down to his captain Vinnie Kane. Kane, the man with the massive engine, forward to Noel Finnerty again. A poor ball over from Noel. The intention was good, but the action didn't exactly match the intent. Forward now by Bonniconlon again. Mike Derrick is there, so too is Colm Foodie, but Mike Derrick comes out on top. Forward to Noel Finnerty now, chance to make amends. This time elects to drive it in long towards Joe Glynn. There too, however, is Fenton Toohey. Outside to his right corner back, Pádraig Reap. Reap, however, his intended hand pass is well cut out by Franny Glynn, but Franny can only knock it as far as the waiting Reap once more. Inside to Fenton Toohey. Fenton punts this ball, but only as far as the waiting Vinnie Kane, who takes it down spectacularly. A player very similar in style to Vinnie Murphy. Still Vinnie Kane winding up for the left-footed shot. Vinnie kicks it high and left-footed, but it screws off the outside of his left boot and goes out to the right and wide. 6 wides now in all for Ballintubber. Bonniconlon have kicked 8, but still it remains on the scoreboard as you were, 1-6 to 3 points, as Raymond Gallagher prepares to take this kick out. Raymond's kick out is a good one, carries past his own 50-yard line. Niall Loftus rises, so too does Vinnie Kane. Kane clattered into by Daniel Ruan, but doesn't stir an inch. Still Vinnie Kane, the hand pass outside to James Horan. How they could do it, a James Horan special now. Still James Horan, man to his left is Noel Mulroe. Mulroe winding up for the left-footed kick. He kicks it high and left-footed. A good kick from Noel Mulroe, if it's made it. In fact it has, it's carried inside the right left-hand upright. The white flag of the umpire signifying another Ballintubber point. So that's 2 quick points now on the restart for Ballintubber. 1 from Franny Glynn, 1 from Noel Mulroe. And the scoreboard now reads Bonniconlon 1-6, Ballintubber 4 points. And their top scorer in the championship so far breaks his duck on this wintry afternoon. So Raymond Gallagher again to take this kick out. His side still comfortably in front, but Ballintubber chipping away relentlessly. Here's Noel Finnerty again. Can they come forward with another attack? Another poor ball from the midfielder, and easily picked up back there by TJ Fleming. Back to Daniel Ruan, who punts it up the far side to Brian McDermott. Brian McDermott yet to really show his electrifying pace in this game. There with him is Pat Lally. Still it's Brian McDermott trying to go by 2 Ballintubber players. Still Brian McDermott, but eventually forced into overcarrying that ball by a combination of Derek Quinn, Noel Finnerty and Pat Lally. A free to Ballintubber is the end result, which John Feeney, their stylish full-back, will take. John standing patiently with the ball in hand on his own 21-yard line, kicks it up along the far side towards James Horan. The ball falls to Franny Glynn. Kicked that lovely point at the beginning of this second half to Vinnie Kane, weighing up his options, elects to chip it into the totally unmarked Joe Glynn. Glynn takes it down ahead of Fintan Toohey, outside to Franny Glynn. This will be a good point if it makes it. Franny Glynn kicks it high and right-footed. That's a score that Ballintubber badly needed. Franny Glynn no more than 21 yards out in time and in space, but couldn't manage to find the target. And the wide tally now accelerates to 7, with 6 minutes and 10 seconds gone in this second half. A little under 24 minutes of normal time remaining. Again, Raymond Gallagher's kick out carries past the 50-yard line, but a little bit of pushing there by one of the Bonniconlon players, or one of the Ballintubber players rather, on Ollie Murray. Free to the North Mayo men, which they take quickly and loft in towards Brian McDermott. There too is Pat Lally. The ball on the ground following a foul on Pat Lally. Free to Ballintubber, taken quickly to Mike Derrick. Derrick chips it up looking for Vinnie Kane. It carries past the centre half forward, however, and into the grateful arms of Daniel Ruan, the centre half back, who has stopped everything going to the centre this afternoon. Outside to his right half back, who's TJ Fleming. Back to Fenton O'Donnell, the right corner forward. Fenton chips it up, looking again for Brian McDermott, but Pat Lally again getting a fist in to knock that ball out over the line. And in fact, Willie Feely judges that ball to have last touched a Bonniconlon player. Line ball to Ballintubber. Here they come again, trying to work another score perhaps. Knocking it in towards Colm Staunton. Staunton very near the end line. There too is Raymond Gallagher. Gallagher comes out, gets the fist in to knock it out over the end line. And that, in all probability, will be a 50 to Ballintubber, as Raymond Gallagher advanced smartly from his goal at the expense of a 50. So James Horan will kick this free. Not a renowned place kicker by any manner of means, well able to land a point from play on occasion, but he's entrusted with the responsibility of kicking this 50 slightly to the right of the posts. By no manner of means a difficult kick, but will he get the distance? So James Horan, this to reduce the game to a 4.1 once more. James Horan kicks it in, taken down by Mike Derrick, but Mike fails to get any power into his left-footed kick. In fact, it's adjudged again, I would think, to have last touched a Bonniconlon player. And a little bit of consultation, in fact, going on between the referee and the umpire, and eventually the end result following that little consultation is that play will restart with a 50 yet again to Ballintubber, and yet again James Horan will be the man to kick it. So a chance for him to atone for that poor 50 a couple of moments ago, and perhaps maybe land a point with this one. An almost identical position to the previous one as Noel Finnerty and Seamus Lacken watch intently beside the ball. James Horan catches well, a better kick on this occasion, kept in with just about by Franny Glynn, knocked down to TJ Fleming, but the referee in fact decides that Franny Glynn was fouling his marker Fenton Toohey. It can be a free out to Bonniconlon, which the goalkeeper Raymond Gallagher will take from the ground. Again attempting to waste up a few more precious seconds as he takes a good long run up to it. Raymond Gallagher's kick out carries about 70 yards out from his own goal, taken down by Mike Derrick, the Ballintubber centre half back. Mike kicks a first time ball towards his full forward line of Joe Glynn and Franny Glynn. The break however is well won back there by Ollie Murray, who gets it out to David Melvin. Melvin low up along the ground looking for Seamus Foodie, or Colin Foodie in fact, in time and space. Noel Finnerty tracking back there to his Mike Derrick, who puts in a futile challenge. The ball slips from Colin Foodie's grasp and John Feeney can pick it up back in his own full back line to Noel Finnerty. A low ball along the ground looking for Vinnie Kane, the Ballintubber captain. Vinnie's clearance however is not a good one. It falls to the onrushing Derek Quinn, who pulls in it first time, but well read back there by the Bonniconlon cornerback, who's eyeing Yockton. A first time ball up along the far side looking for Seamus Foodie. There too is Derek Quinn. Quinn does very well to hold off the attentions of the Bonniconlon captain and eventually forces one of the Bonniconlon players into fouling him. It's a free to Ballintubber, which the midfielder Noel Finnerty will take. Finnerty kicks it left footed up towards James Horan. The break comes to Vinnie Kane just outside his own 50-yard line. Vinnie Kane solos twice, solos 3 times, solos 4, 5, 6. Still Vinnie Kane soloing patiently. Man inside is Colm Staunton. Staunton yet to get away really from the clutches of Ollie Yockton. Still it's Colm Staunton surrounded by 4 Bonniconlon men. Back to Franny Glynn. The angle getting very tight. Still Franny Glynn to James Horan. Can he work something? Buys himself a little bit of time with the dummy. Switches the play across to the far side to Alan Staunton. Outside to Noel Mulroe. This will be a sweet point if it gets there. Noel Mulroe kicks it high and over the bar. A brilliant score from Noel Mulroe. Ballintubber patiently biding their time. A string of 4 or 5 passes before the ball eventually found its way to Noel Mulroe, and he made no mistake from 21 yards out to kick it over the crossbar and land Ballintubber's 3rd point of the second half. Bonniconlon yet to score in the second period, and the scoreboard now reads Bonniconlon 1 goal and 6 points, Ballintubber 5 points. We've played 11.5 minutes of the second half. The kick out from Raymond Gallagher is taken down by Mike Derrick now. Ballintubber playing with their tails up, their crowd getting behind them here at Gilmartin Park in Kiltimagh. Mike Derrick's free and over the head of the defence is picked up again by Colm Staunton. Man in support is Joe Glynn. Instead Colm elects to go for Noel Finnerty inside, but the sliding tackle of Seamus Lacken is spotted by the referee Michael Daly, and this presents Noel Mulroe with a gilt-edged opportunity to cut the gap to just 3 points, and in the process kick his 3rd point of the second half. This kick 14 yards out, slightly to the right of the goals, and surely a simple chance for Noel Mulroe. This would bring it back to a 3-point game once more. Bonniconlon having led at one stage by 7 points. They lead at 4 at the moment. Noel Mulroe kicks it left footed. Oh, somehow he's managed and contrived to kick that ball via the upright out to the left and right, and surely that was a chance that Noel Mulroe should have taken with ease, no more than 14 yards out on a suitable side for a left-footed kicker. But somehow the concentration waned a little. He kicked it out to the left and wide, and that now brings the Ballintubber wide tally to 8, and still 4 points remain between the sides with 13 minutes gone, 17 minutes of normal time remaining. Raymond Gallagher's kick out towards the centre of the field. Alan Staunton is there, so too Fenton O'Donnell. The referee spots a foul on a Bonniconlon player. Free to them, taken quickly by their captain Seamus Foodie. Forward to his brother Colm, who's now operating at full forward. Pascal Toohey having switched to the 40. Colm Foodie is fouled by John Feeney. It'll be a free into Bonniconlon, which surely Pascal Toohey will kick. Colm Foodie stands patiently with the ball in hand, waiting for somebody to make a move. And in fact, he eventually waits for Pascal Toohey to come out to take the free as Ballintubber introduces substitute number 20. Johnny McGing is coming in, a very experienced campaigner. Normally operates in the forward line, and he has come in for the West Mayo men. as they struggle and try manfully to get back into this game. So the free has been left for Pascal Toohey just inside the Ballintubber 50-yard line. This to extend the Bonniconlon lead to 5 points. Toohey, well within his compass, I would think, catches it well. It's got the distance but not the accuracy. It carries out to the right and wide. And the scoreboard remains as you were, 1-6 to 5 points. And Bonniconlon have now gone 14 minutes without landing a score in this second half. As Kieran McDonough, who'll be anxious now to get on with this game, kicks it out to this near side towards Noel Finnerty and Seamus Lacken. Vinnie Kane is there too, along with Niall Loftus. The break falls to Noel Finnerty, who managed to get his kick in despite the attentions of the Bonniconlon midfielder. Up along the line looking for Alan Staunton, or perhaps Joe Glynn. First man there, however, is Ollie Nocton punts it up to Colin Fruity. Kieran McDonough's come out here. He's along the out from his goal. David Melvin, surely a second goal. Melvin kicks it low and into the corner of the net. 2 goals for David Melvin, 2 goals for Bonniconlon, as Colin Fruity goes absolutely berserk in the centre of the field. 15 minutes gone in the second half. We're at the 3-quarter mark and Bonniconlon have shot 7 points clear. It looked all so simple there. The ball quickly popped over the top to Colin Fruity. Kieran McDonough came a long way out of his goal. All Colin had to do was pop the ball into space to David Melvin, and David kept his head down, kept his shot low, and the ball nestled for the second time in the back of Kieran McDonough's net. Bonniconlon 2 goals and 6 points. Ballintubber 5 points, 7 points separate the sides. Can Ballintubber find a way back now? They've got a little under 15 minutes left to do it. Here's their captain Vinnie Kane. They need a score now, they need it badly. Here's Fanny Glynn. Man outside is Colm Staunton. Colm trying to work and weave an angle. Still Colm Staunton, adjudged in fact to have picked that ball off the ground. Really just adding insult to injury, going by that last passage of play. And Raymond Gallagher advances ever so slowly from his goal to take this free. But certainly if Bonniconlon do hang on to win this game, they're looking to be very much in pole position at the moment. David Melvin will be a hero in North Mayo tonight. They haven't won the Intermediate Championship since 1986. They defeated Shrule, Glencorrib, Ballyhaunis and Louisburg on their path to today's final. They drew 11 points each thanks to a last gasp free with Pascal Toohey in the drawn game. And now they're 7 points clear with 14 minutes remaining in the replay. Here comes Derek Quinn though. There's still a lot of football left in this intermediate final. Derek kicks it high and right-footed, but not for the first time. On an opportunity when Ballintubber badly needed a score. They haven't been on target, and their wide tally now shoots to 9. Bonniconlon have kicked 8, but they lead where it matters on the scoreboard, 2-6 to 5 points. And as it was at half time, 7 clear scores separate the sides. Raymond Gallagher's kick out carries again past his own 50-yard line, knocked down by Niall Loftus, who picks up the break himself. Alan Staunton and Noel Finnerty there, both in close attendance. Niall adjudged to have overcarried that ball, free to Ballintubber, which Alan Staunton will take himself, looking for a man to make a run inside. Pops it over to this near side to where Colm Staunton is waiting patiently. Colm has a man in support who's Johnny McGinn. Johnny kicks it high and left-footed. It'll be a good score if it carries, but no, again. Unfortunately for Ballintubber, it's carried out to the right and wide, much to the delight of the Bonniconlon supporters. And certainly Murphy's Law would seem to be affecting Ballintubber this afternoon. Anything that could go wrong is going wrong. But they did show tremendous character in their semi-final defeat of Kilmeena, prevailing on that afternoon by a point. They showed brilliant character to get back into the drawn game when at one stage they looked out of it a couple of weeks ago. Can they carve a way back into this replay? They're staring down the barrel of a deficit at the moment, but still they're battling on relentlessly. Here's Fanny Glynn now. Perhaps he can work a point or maybe a score. He picks up a smack in the mouth for his troubles, however, from TJ Fleming, right under the eyes of Michael Daly, the referee, and James Horan trots across to take the resultant free kick as Ballintubber attempt to bring in a substitute, number 19, Brian Donnelly it is who's coming in, but he can't come in just yet. Johnny McGing has a chance to atone for his miss a few moments ago. Johnny McGing, the veteran Ballintubber clubman, kicks a brilliant left-footed point from all of 25 yards, an inspirational kick from the veteran. And with 19 minutes gone in the second half, 11 minutes or thereabouts of normal time remaining, Johnny McGinn kicks a point to make it 2-6 to 6 points. And Brian Donnelly, number 19, also an accomplished soccer player with Ballyhaunis in the past, comes into their attack to try and work the oracle. So Joe Glynn, Johnny McGing and Brian Donnelly all into the Ballintubber attack as they try to cut into this 2-goal deficit, as Bonniconlon try to come out of their own defence again with David Melvin, the hero. If his 2 goals prove the difference. Here's Brian McDermott, who helped himself to 3 points in the drawn game. Hasn't been quite as prominent this afternoon, but still a major threat due to his substantial pace. Free to Bonniconlon, which Pascal Toohey takes inside to Colm Foodie, who's revelling in his full forward role. Still Colm Foodie winding up for the kick at goal. A huge kick from Foodie, going to drop into the arms, however, of the goalkeeper Kieran McDonough. Out in turn to PJ Derrick, the Ballintubber right half back, to Noel Finnerty, his midfielder, on his own 21-yard line. Noel Finnerty over to the far side to Derek Quinn. Quinn, just as he slips, gives the hand pass off to Brian Donnelly, who's just on to the field. Donnelly's first time ball up to James Horan, who can't pick it up at the first time of asking. Back to Franny Glynn, who has Brian Donnelly on his shoulder. Still Franny Glynn elects instead to find Joe Glynn, trying to go by Fenton Toohey. Still it's Joe Glynn out to the onrushing James Horan. Horan winding up for the left-footed kick. He kicks it high, left-footed, comes off the top of the crossbar. Down to Alan Staunton, or Colm Staunton, who's taken completely out of it by Fenton Toohey. Surely a second penalty for Ballintubber. Yes, decides the referee Michael Daly. And whatever complaints Bonniconlon could have had about the first one, they really could have little about the second. Colm Staunton taken completely out of it by the elbow, decides referee Michael Daly of Fenton Toohey. Fenton protesting his innocence, but in any event it's a penalty to Ballintubber, which their substitute is only on the field about 90 seconds. Brian Donnelly will kick Raymond Gallagher in the Bonniconlon goal at the moment with 21 minutes gone. It's 2-6 to Bonniconlon, 6 points to Ballintubber. A vital kick for Donnelly, which he sticks in the bottom corner. A super kick from Brian Donnelly, drawing on all his experience garnered from the soccer fields of Mayo in the past couple of years. Kept it low, kept it to the corner, and despite the despairing dive of Raymond Gallagher, the ball nestling in the onion sack. 2-6 Bonniconlon, 1-6 Ballintubber, as Ollie Ginty, who began the drawn game at right half forward, comes in for Bonniconlon wearing number 17 this afternoon. And could his introduction have come at a more opportune time? We'll just have to wait and see. His side at the moment clinging to a 3-point lead where once it was 7. Will Brian Donnelly's kick serve to turn the game around, or will they look back on Vinnie Kane's first half missed penalty as the turning point of this match? Brian McDermott to Seamus Foodie, still Bonniconlon going through. Ollie Ginty's inside, Seamus Foodie goes himself. He kicks it high, right-footed, but perhaps a pass inside to the better placed man might have been a better option. Instead the captain elected to go it alone, and his kick shoots across and squirts across the face of Kieran McDonough's goal. 22 minutes gone now, almost 22 and a half. Kieran McDonough's kick out, a poor one, into the waiting arms of Seamus Foodie. Not a Ballintubber man in sight. Now Brian Donnelly comes back to put in a challenge. Off in turn to Pascal Toohey. There is Derek Quinn. So too is Alan Staunton, as Toohey lofts it in, again taken down by Kieran McDonough. And again PJ Derrick offers himself as the man in a wide position to Noel Finnerty. Johnny McGing is there too, but Finnerty elects instead to drive it all at 50 yards upfield towards Vinnie Kane. 3 Bonniconlon men rise. They succeed only in running into each other. Here's James Horan on his bike now, 25 yards. Vinnie Kane sprinting up alongside him. The pass off to Vinnie Kane. Chance of a goal. Vinnie Kane, inches. Couldn't have been any more than inches outside Raymond Gallagher's upright. There was only one thing in his mind as he got that ball. He was moving like an express train through the Bonniconlon defence. James Horan popped it off in rugby fashion just at the right moment. Vinnie Kane hit it first time as he galloped through, and in a flash Bonniconlon's championship dreams are kept intact. Had that ball nestled in the top corner, we'd have a totally different complexion on the match now. 23 and a half minutes gone, still Bonniconlon 2-6, Ballintubber 1-6. One kick of the ball between them, as Seamus Lacken has won a free for his side in the centre of the field. Tries to take it quickly down to Colm Foodie, but a little bit too quickly for the liking of the Bonniconlon full forward at this stage. And John Feeney waits patiently to take this line ball back in his own 21-yard line. Mike Derrick offering some instructions to the youngster as John Feeney drives it upfield up towards James Horan, who's been showing more and more now in the last couple of minutes. Vinnie Kane is there, so too Johnny McGing. McGing sprints across, chance of a point maybe. Got the gap a little bit more. McGing snatches at it a little bit, and it carries out to the right and wide. Perhaps Johnny could have weighed up his options a little bit better for an extra split second or two, but he elected instead to snatch at it And they all count at this stage. From the Bonniconlon point of view, that perhaps is as good as a score for them. Wasting up a few more precious seconds. 24.5 minutes gone, 5.5 of normal time. Still a goal between them. And still Ballintubber by no means out of this game. They last won intermediate titles back in 1976 and 1990. And bridging this afternoon to bridge a 7-year gap. Bonniconlon have to go all the way back 11 years for their last championship title. That in 1986. Here they come again though with Colm Foodie, who's been outstanding all afternoon. Again he gets there ahead of John Feeney. Man inside is Ollie Ginty, but well taken down and intercepted back there by PJ Derrick. Inside to Noel Finnerty, who's worked like a Trojan throughout as well. Noel Finnerty drives it up towards Vinnie Kane. The clash of the captains. Seamus Foodie comes out on top on this occasion. Man beside him is David Melvin. Melvin, who scored the 2 goals, does very well indeed there. Manages to pop it off to Pascal Toohey. Toohey is pulled to the ground and fouled by Noel Finnerty. And he receives a pat on the back from the referee Michael Daly, and in the process also does a quick time check with the Ballyhaunis official. The Ballintubber men also anxious to know what's left. There's round about 4.5 minutes as Pascal Toohey lines up this free just on the semicircle arc, about 28-29 yards out from the Ballintubber post. Dead centre. And Pascal taking no chances with this one, just revising his run up once more. This kick would stretch the gap to 4 points yet again. 2-6 to 1-6 at the moment as the minutes tick away. Pascal doesn't catch it all that well. Well taken down again by Kieran McDonough to John Feeney. He in turn finds Vinnie Kane, who has Mike Derrick beside him if he can spot him. Still Vinnie Kane fouled back in his own half back line, free to Ballintubber, to Derek Quinn, the 21-year-old left half back, to Johnny McGing, who's a little bit past 21 at this stage on this near side. Johnny McGing very near the sideline, manages to keep it in play just about. 2 Bonniconlon men there beside him. One of them is the left half back, who's Ollie Murray. Still the ball in play just about, but eventually it carries out over the line on this near side. Adjudges the linesman Kieran McBride. It'll be a line ball to Ballintubber, which Noel Finnerty will kick just inside the Bonniconlon half. Surely now he'll elect to drive this ball in long. 26.5 minutes, almost 27 gone, as Noel punts it in looking for James Horan. James knocks it down to the waiting Brian Donnelly, the penalty scorer. Back to Horan once more. Alan Staunton is there, so too is Franny Glynn. Still James Horan stops for just a moment, then kicks right footed. James Horan kicks it high right footed. A super score from James Horan. Not the first vital point he's kicked for Ballintubber in his career. It certainly won't be the last. And the scoreboard now reads 2-6 Bonniconlon, 1-7 Ballintubber. 2 points now separate the sides. 2 kicks of the ball, and still we have time left for a comeback. 27.5 minutes gone. 2.5 of normal time left. Can they land the vital scores? At the moment, Fenton O'Donnell is marking Colm Staunton. He's moved a long way away from his corner forward spot at which he started. Here come Ballintubber again, Johnny McGinn. However, he's adjudged to have overcarried that ball by the referee. It'll be a free out to Bonniconlon, which Fenton Toohey, the full-back, will kick. Fenton Toohey looking for Pascal, broken down instead to Ollie Ginty. Ginty spots a man inside who's Colm Foodie. Could this be a third Bonniconlon goal? Kieran McDonough comes out to get it, but he's taken completely out of it by Colm Foodie, who nevertheless sticks the ball in the net. But I don't think Bonniconlon could have too many complaints with that disallowed goal. Certainly Colm Foodie caught Kieran McDonough with his elbow. Free out to Ballintubber. If a goal had gone in at that stage, it was all over, bar the shouting for Ballintubber, but still they hang on in there. 2 points down with 60 seconds or thereabouts left in the game, and still Bonniconlon come forward. End-to-end drama here at the moment as Pascal Toohey trots out to take this free again in no particular hurry, wasting up a few more precious seconds. The Ballintubber mentors on this near side looking on dejectedly at this stage. Can their side fight a way back? A goal now would turn the game around completely as Pascal Toohey uses up an awful lot of time in placing this ball. Pascal catches it well, curls it in around the danger area. Joe Glynn rises, so too does David Melvin. Still it's Joe Glynn trying to push and barge his way out of his own defence. Wins the free eventually, outside to his left half back, who's Derek Quinn. We're into the last few seconds of the game now as Ballintubber try to work something. Here's Franny Glynn, who kicked a marvellous point at the start of the second half, but has done precious little since. Noel Finnerty tackled very, very dangerously there indeed by Pádraig Reap. And again, a free in is awarded by the referee Michael Daly. And in fact, also for that foul, Pádraig Reep's name is about to be taken. He becomes the second player to be booked, joining that of his clubmate Pascal Toohey in the referee's notebook. Free to Ballintubber, taken quickly by Noel Finnerty. To Franny Glynn, back to Finnerty once more. Noel kicks it high and left footed, but it's gone out to the right and wide, and with it perhaps goes Ballintubber's last chance of snatching something from this game. We're into time added on now at the end of this second half. The replay of the 1997 Intermediate Football Championship final here at Gilmartin Park in Kiltimagh. In the drawing game, it took 2 late frees from Pascal Toohey to rescue Bonniconlon. For all of this afternoon's game, they've been in the driving seat ever since that early David Melvin goal, as number 20 Anthony Egan, the evergreen Bonniconlon stalwart, attempts to come into the action, but he can't come in just yet. There hasn't been a stoppage in the play. Here's Pascal Toohey kicking it forward to Brian McDermott. Can they finish with a flourish? McDermott keeps it in play, but only just in the corner. Man in support is Paul Judge. Still Brian McDermott, back to Pascal Toohey. Can he crown his superb performance with a point? That he does. He raises a defiant fist to the crowd. Pascal Toohey has been magnificent throughout, both from frees and from play. Kicks a marvellous point off the outside of his left boot. And the scoreboard now reads 2-7 Bonniconlon, 1-7 Ballintubber. It's almost all over. Bonniconlon about to bridge an 11-year gap. It's all at the discretion of the referee Michael Daly from Ballyhaunis. We've played 90 seconds of injury time. John Feeney up along the line looking for Noel Finnerty. There too, however, is Ollie Nocton. Eventually, however, is foul spotted on one of the Ballintubber players. A free to James Horan, a free to Ballintubber, but no, in fact, decides referee Michael Daly. Enough is enough. That is the final action of the 1997 Intermediate Football Championship replay. The victory and the plaudits all go to Bonniconlon and to North Mayo. The final scoreline: Bonniconlon 2 goals and 7 points, Ballintubber 1 goal and 7, and David Melvin's goals ultimately decide the championship.
Hard to go there. It took many minutes to decide this match. There were 2 great teams. Bonniconlon came back today after replay, and there were many scores missed on both sides. But on the day, Bonniconlon were the better team, and congratulations to them. Congratulations to Ballintubber. I know that they lost a lot of finals this year, but put that in your back pocket, lads, and forget about it and keep going, and you'll win one of them next year. I'd like to thank Michael Daly for his expert handling of the game today, his officials and linesmen as well, and to the Kiltimagh Club for putting their excellent facilities at the country board's disposal in hosting today's match. It's always nice to come to Kiltimagh, and thanks to each and every one of the Kiltimagh officials for the fine way that they have their pitch and everything, and the way they give it to us and give us general strength in every goal. Congratulations again to Bonniconlon, and today's going to has got a Canada House from Texas, Bonniconlon. Well, it's been a really hard year for us. We've done something like 70, 80 training sessions. I mean, they've been hard. We've had a great man training us this year. I'd like to give a round of applause for Barry. At the start of the year, we started in January. We've gone right through. It's been a long 9-10 months. But another man that's put a lot of effort into the team over the last couple of years, and it's finally paid. We've been beaten in semi-finals. We've been 4th or 5th in the league for a few years, but to win a county title for Johnny Toohey. Thanks very much. I'd also like to thank our two selectors, Johnny Judge and Tommy Payton. We've travelled all over Mayo this year, and the supporters have been absolutely brilliant. So round of applause. Well, today's game was one of the hardest we've played all year. There's never been anything between ourselves and Ballintubber the last couple of years. A kick of a ball. That's all it's been. And I'd like to thank the Ballintubber team for 2 brilliant games. And I'd like to give three cheers to Ballintubber. Hip hip! Hey! Hip hip! Hey! Hip hip! Hey! Thanks very much. Oh yeah. And yesterday, the national schools were coming out of the ski tourism. Fair play to you lads. Thanks very much. This one's an attention please, there's a set of keys on the ring bound here, so if anybody lost a set of keys, they'll come as far as here.
You got home already?
It's after last week. How do you get Sunday? Fair play to you. Picture, the picture! Never a picture! Let me think. The next down turn,
Let's begin yet.
You got me 2 pints.
Come here, the young ones have. Well, all the young ones in first. I'll give me a cheer. All the young ones in first.
It out when it was needed. That's for sure. A sore man. Brilliant game you had.
Wednesday back here at Gilmartin Park, Kiltimagh. As you can probably understand, it's a great scene of jubilation around the Bonniconlon dressing room. And I'm joined here now by 2 of the heroes this afternoon, the captain, Seamus Foodie, who played very, very well indeed at right half forward, and the man who scored the 2 goals that ultimately won the game for Bonniconlon. And the Seamus Foodie.
Well, can you hear the shouting and roaring? It's been a long time coming, 11 years since we last won the county title, and it's absolutely brilliant today.
Everyone down there in the middle.
Well, the captain is just a it's brilliant. It's absolutely fabulous. We've got 15 players today. We brought in subs who are absolutely brilliant. When we needed players, we really, you know, the other guys in the team really pulled out some great stuff. Fintan Tui, Lyle Loftus, the last two players that won the county title in '86. They were absolutely brilliant today. It's absolutely brilliant. That's the only way I can describe it now. Oh, it'll mean an awful lot. Playing senior football next year, senior championship, brilliant. The average age of the team is about 23, 24. We're a very young team, and you know we can build on this. You know, we really fought hard today. We didn't play well the last day, but today we really pulled out all the stops, and we got what we deserved. But Peter Hughes has been absolutely brilliant, not just for his training but for his talks before games, after games. He kept us concentrated all year round. his training sessions now have been absolutely brilliant. The fitness today, it showed, and it showed all year. You know, we wouldn't be where we are today without Peter Hughes, and I'd just like to, on behalf of the club, I'd like to thank Peter again. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant for him. He was in 86, he was there, he was a sub today, didn't come in, but absolutely brilliant for him now. And delighted that he's won another county title. Okay. Okay, Willie. Yeah, David's here waiting to get a few words in with you. Thanks very much. See you now. Bye. Bye. Hello, Willie. Hello, Willie. How are things? Buddy, I can barely hear you, but all I can say, it was a great team effort by Bonniconlon. We deserved this. We let ourselves down the last day. And just one more thing, it was more than a 15-man effort. This is a 28-man squad. 3 great selectors and a great trainer. And I just mentioned only 2, we have Peter Hughes. These are the 2 men that made it work for us today. Thank you, Willie.
Oh!